Let's get this show on the road.
Alright, since we're following a slightly bit behind, but I plan to come in under estimate. So, we'll just get this started, and I will give you a countdown when the timer starts, because we're old school and we do this at character control, so. Multiple reasons we do it at character control, mainly because when I first started running this game, I ran the PlayStation version, and you can skip the tutorial by soft resetting. So, yeah, we just decided, or I just decided, because I was the only runner then, to start it when you control characters, and also back in 2006, that's what you did. So I will give a countdown from 5 for you to start the timer, the voice here. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, this is still a Mirage. If you've played games by Treasure, like Mischief Makers, or Dynamite Heady, or Gunstar Heroes, or Ikaruga, Sin and Punishment, same company that made all of those games. This is kind of a hidden gem on the Saturn and PlayStation 1. Not a lot of people have played this game, and they're always very surprised when they find out that it exists. So here, we are defeating a bunch of enemies, and we are stealing their money. We need to get 900 money to buy the weapon we will be using for the rest of the game. If you notice, I will be shooting those enemies with the blue side of me. I have two sides, blue and red. Silhouette Mirage is where the game title comes from, because these enemies are Mirage type, and to defeat them I have to hit them with silhouette shots. I missed a coin there, that's okay though. Now, what happens when I hit enemies with the same color shot here, Mirage here? I am doing this to drain their spirit. Spirit is how enemies and also myself do attacks. So I do that to drain their spirit so that they can't attack me anymore. That one actually broke out of my hold. Okay, we have 500 money. 500 money is good coming out of this area. So the category I'm playing is any percent JP. That just means any percent on the Japanese version. Everyone, I believe, that runs Japanese version, which is 4 people, 3 people that are active. We all run it on Saturn because it's looks better, sounds better. Was the original release. It also released on PS1. The other category, main category, I guess, is any percent US, which is the US version of the game. Only on PlayStation 1, and has a lot of mechanics changes to it because working designs like to put their fingers in the soup and do stuff like that to make the games harder. So here we have our first silhouette enemies. They're a little bit more annoying because they have a kind of a more accurate long-range attack that when they're tossing their heads at you like so. Makes them a little bit more difficult to get the money from, especially when they're all in a giant group like this. I'm just trying to get as much money as possible here without having to loot too many times. I think I'm going to end up with 750? Yeah, 760. So we're going to go down around, respawn these enemies. Also, they like to grab you. And steal your money. I'm just gonna defeat both of these guys and respawn everything. We have 860, we need 40 more. That's basically one enemy and then a little bit more. Oh, 898, thanks. Okay. Up here's a secret shop. It's a secret shop because it's kind of hidden. And also it's a secret shop because I'm going to scroll past everything a few times. The scroll isn't locked at the end until you get here to this level 6 sloth. And that's going to be our weapon for the rest of the game. It has a much longer range, a much larger amount of bullets, and it also has auto-fire. I am using a turbo controller because turbo is allowed for this run, because we like to save our risks. There is another weapon that is viable for the Japanese version called Pride. That's like a boomerang weapon. It comes a little bit later. And that one you have to mash for, so we just allow turbo to save on mashing through all the text and mashing through all the enemies and stuff. And this is the first boss. Oh, he got knocked off. He flinched a lot there. That's unfortunate. I had to chase him down, but that was the first boss. You're not supposed to have a level 6 weapon at this point in the game. Okay, cool. Defeated on the Reflect. That's a neutral type enemy. Neutral type enemies can only be destroyed by reflecting shots back at them. One change from in the US version is that the US version is automatically on hard difficulty. There's, I think, 5 difficulties built into the game that you can pick through either debug mode or the secret options menu in the US version. And US defaults to hard mode, so all those walkers have 20 more HP. Okay, this is Moses. He's the next boss. Good. He did the spring summon, which means he doesn't teleport off screen. That's the first area down. Pretty simple. Just kind of throws enemies at you that are all one type at the same time. So you're not having to think too hard about which side you're going to be on. And then we're going to be heading into Area 2 here. When I was talking about treasure at the start here, you might have noticed me said that I mentioned Ikaruga. And if you've played Ikaruga, it's a shmup game. I think it's available on Switch, actually. It has a sort of dual color mechanic, just the same as this game does, and actually that was taken from this game. So here, we've got some nice backgrounds going on that are only present in the Saturn version, because the Saturn is a 2D powerhouse. Go ahead, defeat all these motorcycles coming up. My main form of movement here is called crouch dashing, so I crouch on the ground and then dash from there. It's the fastest form of movement when you're going through long distances. If you're just going a short distance, then the time it takes to crouch and start moving doesn't kind of add up as much, saves as much time. Alright, next boss. I punched it for money there, I didn't need to. Periclesis always starts off with that wave attack that you can just reflect back at him, and then you can grab, punch him in the side, and shoot him until he's down. In the US version, because of the mechanics changes, that first reflected attack does like half his health. I didn't get the dash glitch. That's the first time in a while. If I just drop down and dash until the side there without changing my X position after dropping down from that previous boss, I dash into this cutscene, but I didn't there. Interesting. Alright, here's Zohar. We're gonna punch them in the corner. Once you get them in this loop like that, they go down really quickly. A lot of bosses can kind of be easily taken care of by grabbing, punching them in the corner, and then shooting them. Because after the first bit of shooting them, they kind of stop flinching, and then they won't break out of the stun lock. A little bit of RNG here as we wait for these motorcycles to hop up on the platform so we can shoot them. And this one's just going to take her sweet time. Oh, there's 2 of them left. Alright, come on. You were really fast yesterday when I played this. There we go. That timer's completely random. I've had to wait for like a minute and a half for the last one to pop up before. Alright. Wait for this walker to come. This walker is smart and won't go all the way to the edge, and will usually start walking back at you when you turn yourself around there. We just shoot it off the edge there. And another boss right away. And let's hope he's nice, because he can be mean and jump back onto the truck where you can't hit him. Okay, he's fine. There's no loading screen there, so I can just crouch dash. There's a loading screen there in the PS versions. to fight this giant gun. Where the bullets are made up of other enemies. 2, 3, 4, there's only 2. What we do here is we shoot all of the silhouette bullets away so that we don't need to dodge their shots at us and then just wait for the Mirage bullets to fire. Of course, best case scenario is you get 6 Mirage bullets in the gun for maximum damage. 2, 3, there's 2 homing bullets. This is gonna not be good because homing bullets are very frequently just duds that kind of just flop out. On harder difficulties, the gun shoots faster. So that was a dud there. That guy just kind of falls out and doesn't do anything. Oh, only 1! I should have just destroyed that one to speed things up, because if you destroy all the bullets, then it'll just load another set for you. See, I got a 2-rounder yesterday, so the game knows it's not going to give me good luck today. Yeah, sometimes if you do overlap yourself, there's a dud bullet. Oh, that was a laser, that's good. If you do overlap yourself too far, you can, not reflect the shots. I am getting so many of those little square-headed guys. It's like you want to be close, but not too close. Yep, see? There he goes, just flopping out. What are we on? Round 5, I think? Something like that. We're up there in numbers. Oh, come on, one more. There we go. He's down now. Jump and joy. Let's hope the next boss, which is my favorite boss in the game, has a lot better luck. This is Dynamis. She's a guardian angel, and she's gonna attack us with her tentacle arms. She wants to eat the candy in her leg itches. And she likes flowers very much. Oh, 2-color arms, okay. Okay, we can deal with that. She's being really nice so far, just constantly respawning her arms here, which is how we do damage. 40 damage per arm. More? Yep, okay, there we go. No dives today. She can dive underneath the platform, where you can't hit her when she does that, because then she has no arms out. She just wants us to buy her flowers. But we're not interested, so we're gonna move on now. That's the end of Area 2. Flowers are pretty cool, though. Alright, Area 2 down. We're on to Area 3, which is a nice giant castle in the middle of this beautiful forest. This is when the game starts throwing multiple types of enemies at you at once. We can kind of cheese this first area by not moving to the left, because then the cupids in the back will not start throwing their bombs. We can just concentrate on destroying the... Oh, I don't remember their Japanese name. I'd call them Spectres. They're called Spectres in the US first. We're supposed to call them that. Concentrate on the flying specters that are coming through to you. And now it's an Indiana Jones parody? Because we got this giant spiky wheel of doom. It's even got a sign there. Spiky wheel of doom starts here. But we move so fast with crouch dashing that it doesn't even matter. By moving this fast, you unlock the camera from where the wheel is, and you can just ignore it pretty much. Going up here because it's faster, I think. I used to go down just because I was used to it, but then I think one of the other runners found out it's faster if you go. Oh yeah, it's faster if you go up because you don't need to wait for the wheel to break the barrier at the end to continue on. That's why it's faster. See, wheel didn't even get to the end. I knew there was a reason. There's a reason we do everything in this game. Just like every speedrun, its route developed over the course of a number of years. I forgot to lock the screen there, and now Paolo's not going to come out. Step away a little bit. There he is. He's shy, so we have to turn away from him and ignore him until he comes out and realizes that, oh, we're friendly. And he's going to be nice and give us a present. Maybe he just wants to hang out and, you know, have some tea and cake, and oh no, he's turning into a werewolf. Alright, we can just get up in his face and just destroy him. He does have a number of attacks where he can jump around the screen and dodge your attacks and slam into you and such. In the US version, you can grab him, punch him, put him in the right-hand corner, and he forgets how to boss. Just AI just kind of breaks, he stands there. Moving on, next boss. Not even a trash section here to get through. This is the smiley face from Heck. We just shoot him a color and his real body appears. We turn him blue because his blue side just has this giant laser attack. The red side has a homing laser and you have no iframe, so he just kind of juggles you. There we go. He spawned really close to the platform both times, which is why I went down so quickly. And turns out he ate our teleport nexus, which is why we had to fight him. He spit it out for us because we beat him. So, moving on. This is actually not the end of Area 3 just yet, though. I've been running this game since 2006. My first runs were in the, like, low hour range, like low 60 minutes or so. I remember, I think I still have the recording of my first sub-hour run somewhere. Alright, you're gonna do that, you're gonna be mean. Oh, and you're gonna switch sides. That's actually helpful, because I find... Oh, okay, okay. Thanks, Zohar. I'll just stand in your face and shoot you there. I didn't realize how close she was to dying. Anyway, I've been running this game since 2006. At first, run times were in like the 60-minute range. Getting it down under an hour was big, and then another runner picked it up and found out a faster path through the final stages, because at the end of the game, there's multiple stages you can go through, different bosses, and found a different way to go through. Actually, that was like after my AGDQ 2013 bonus stream run that happened, but in any case, found there's a faster way to go through the end stages and really drop the time down. And now both versions are actually, the world record is under 40 minutes. Just due to most of the reroutings, and then also just having really good RNG. And then the Saturn version, if you use Turbo, it does make the final bosses a little faster. So, I forget what my PB is. It's like a 4230 or something like that. Someone can go look that up. I don't remember. I just looked it up yesterday and I don't remember already. But a lot of the time save comes down to good RNG in some of the bosses. By the way, this is an auto-scroller boss. I'll just explain him and then throw it over to the host once I'm done explaining what he does. He's driving. Don't do this if you're driving. Don't pop out of your roof and break your car, and please wear your seatbelt. So you just need to target his hands, and the car will turn to 5 different directions. It'll always head right at the end. And yeah, if the host has anything to say, any donations or any plugs to do for upcoming stuff, this is a great time to do it.
Thank you. Just a quick reminder that there's currently a character bid going on. You decide who Ice Blue has to play in BS Legend of Zelda. There's currently a tie between Link and Zelda. Everything donated this week goes straight to Able Gamers. Able Gamers has modified regular controllers, built entire gaming setups, used eye tracking in new ways, invented new techniques, and even built entire rooms specifically for people in need, completely free of charge. Thank you everyone who has already donated this weekend, and everyone who is just here supporting us.
I can't believe there's a tie in a bid war. You should break that tie so the poor runner doesn't have to flip a coin or something. Alright, 50 HP here. The car is... There it goes. He was in the middle of an attack, so didn't do it. The car does a jump there to lock it into place for heading in the right... For heading right. Just because that's where it needs to be doing for ending the stage, ending the scene here. Also, the Saturn Turbo controller is really cute. Like, I think you can see it. It's a little Bomberman, the one that I have. So it's a very cute turbo controller. I like it. So that hallway can be annoying because there's two types of enemies throwing stuff at you, and also because it has a high risk, not high, a low risk of soft locking there in case the game doesn't realize one of the enemies gets defeated and is just kind of running around there. It happens on all versions. It's random. So the bunny girl upstairs dropped us down here to deal with Faust, and Faust is a shadow puppeteer. And we're just going to hope he doesn't run around too much. There, that was good. He just ran to the right. If he runs to the right, that's good, because we need to shoot him on that side. He has multiple attacks, including a giant dragon, a giant satellite laser beam, and a tank. He might have another one too, but I very rarely see them. Alright, for this next boss, I'm actually going to turn Turbo off and see if I can get the juggle trick on her. I haven't been successful recently with it. It's just a little bit easier with how many bullets are on screen from Turbo to not have it on. Okay, I got it halfway, that's fine. My positioning was kind of weird, so I didn't fully get it, but her HP can just melt once she's off the slot machine. I actually don't know if the juggle trick saves time or not. It just looks cool if you can just toss her in the air for the entire health bar. So that was the game show portion, and now we're at soup. It's all soup. And this guy in the back is gonna sniff the soup. Oh, he sniffed like right away when there's no bubbles on screen. So what we need to do for this boss is punch the enemies into the soup, turn the soup into silhouette color, wait for the bubbles to come up randomly, and wait for the boss to sniff randomly. Every sniff he does, he takes 8 damage if there's a blue bubble on screen. If there are any pink bubbles, he will gain Spirit Bar. At 100 Spirit Bar, he will do a giant nose beam and lose all his spirit. The nose beam just wastes time because we can just stand on our reflector and dodge it. I stand on the left side to punch the enemies in. No, don't sniff, there's no bubbles on screen. I stand on the left side because of muscle memory. You can stand on the right and it's perfectly fine to do that. It just wastes time if you're bouncing back and forth because the desire sensor knows which side you're on and won't spawn enemies on that side. So, Delilah in the back here has 3 moves he can do. just say like a dialogue line doesn't do anything. He can throw in salt, which he always does after sniffing, but he can do it randomly as well. Not as often on this version as on the US version though. And then he can sniff. That's it. This whole stage is just pretty much kind of auto-scrollers. So if there's any more bid wars coming up that you want to plug, other than the Zelda one, you can go ahead and mention those here right now as I continue to punch pumpkins into this soup.
I actually have a correction. I was looking at the wrong thing. Zelda's actually winning in the bid war by a long shot. So if you want to give Link a chance, there is another character bid war that is going on for Fire Emblem 3 Houses. It's a house bid war for Blue Lions, Black Eagles, or Golden Deer. At the moment, Golden Deer and Blue Lions are very, very close. Thank you.
I've yet to play 3 Houses, but I have watched the runs, and they are pretty good. I've yet to play a lot of games. If you see my background, my room here, that is my room. That is my gaming room. Most of those games on the shelves are unplayed because I have no time. Come on, sniff one more time. There's like 2 blue bubbles right above you, and they're gone now. Okay. He has 4 HP left, so one more sniff with blue bubbles on the screen, not just pink ones. There we go. Yeah, 100 HP, 8 HP per sniff. You do the math because it's early and I don't feel like it. That's how many sniffs he needs to end the fight. And for whatever reason, that makes the studio blow up. I don't know why. It was load-bearing soup, I guess. And that's Area 4 complete, and we're heading into Area 5 now. This is the last, like, teleport transition in the game. There's, Area 5, there's 7 areas total in the game. But this is the last one where you actually see, like, what the name is and everything. Alright, turning Tobar off here for this next bit of dialogue because, it actually lags the game. So it's just a little bit easier to mash through the next piece of dialogue. With the, 2-headed goat snake, goat sheep snake, that's what it is. I keep wanting to call it a dragon. It's not a dragon, it's a snake. Also want to change my weapon to my level 1 weapon because this is a area full of neutral type bosses. And if you lose all of your spirit, you will absorb your currently equipped weapon to restore your spirit. And if I lose that level 6 weapon, I can't get another one. I think the most I can buy at this point in the game is a level 5, which is okay. But it's not a level 6 weapon. Oh, I jumped over him. So this is the spider. Come on. Okay, you're gonna do that. Well then I'll just do this and hope that you run into them. Nope, come over here. No. Okay, we're just gonna battle it out. Battle out up here. Come here. No? Where is he? There he is. So as you can see, neutral type bosses are very annoying because you have to reflect shots at them. And he is not being nice and doing his grab attack. He is hopping around like a spider. Come here. Come on. There you go. Should be 2 of these? No, 3 of these. Because the Okay, you're just gonna stand there. Thank you. There we go. I'm gonna take that. If you're lucky and you can reflect one of those colored webs he shoots out, and change it to neutral, and he stands in it, his HP will just slurp up. Here's the worst boss in the game. There's a reason why I call this split "This is where I reset," and it's because of these bosses. So if you thought the last boss was bad with jumping around, this guy's even worse. Okay, he took 4 damage, that's okay. That's some. So, this is the Yona division. I think that's what they're called in this version too. We just need to defeat the boss down there, the little robot guy. He is very annoying, because he will just jump around like that and not attack you. And you can only damage him by reflecting at him, because he's neutral type. Sometimes he'll just stand there and do nothing, like that. Sometimes he'll shoot at nothing, like that. You want him to do that grenade attack, and then stand still and not jump out of the way. Like that, and he'll just kind of, again, drink the damage, because there's not really any iframes in this game. When you get attacked. Come on. Or get into your AI loop or something. I wanna get on this. Oh, nope, of course, as soon as I move. He switches sides up, so. There is really no way to speed this boss up. You just have to hope you get lucky and reflect all the shots at him. Like that, sniping him with that random grenade that got thrown. Or position him so that he's sort of like behind or ahead of an enemy that's shooting at you. Why are you getting so close? Alright, low on health is fine. Hold still. Yeah, that's how it goes. You see how well his HP just like dropped there? Because he just stood still in between all that. Alright, just hold still there. These 2 mines are gonna go off. There we go. 4. Now stand still. Oh, that was a cross one. Alright, come on, 4 more damage. Alright, what I can do here. Nope. 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 Okay. It's not gonna be nice. Shoot me. Come on, shoot. There we go. There's I don't know if it's a glitch or something. Just something in the programming where if you're holding an enemy, it kind of becomes part of you, and if it gets hit with a neutral shot from another enemy, it counts as damage. So that's what I did there, as I grabbed him and had one of the other guys shoot him, and that counted as damage to defeat him, because he wasn't being nice. Yeah, this version, actually this is the cheaper version of the game now. For a while, this and the US version were approximately the same price, but we checked yesterday when I was on a different stream with this. We checked yesterday, and the US version is $100 now, and this is still around like 50 to 60. Alright, I'm just gonna have him kill me here? Please, attack? Someone attack? Don't stop lagging the game. There we go. So you have 10 continues in this game, and oh, this is really crunchy. Is he gonna hang out in the background? Yep. Okay. Need to get rid of some of these guys. You have 10 continues in the game. When you die, you get full restore on health and spirit. it's better to take an HP death than lose all of your spirit. I didn't even explain what that boss does. This is Megiddo. You'll need to bring him down to 500 HP. He throws enemies at you to lag the screen. He has a wave attack. He has a grabby attack. He has a bloody arrow attack where he jumps off screen and tries to home in on you. And he has that spinning disc attack where he hangs out in the background and tries to throw stuff at you. And he has an attack that does neutral damage where he throws a bunch of roses at you. And every time he does that, I, like, cringe. I started to say that word, but I do. I kind of, like, just tense up because it can easily drain your spirit very easily. But other than that, he's pretty easy. It's not the last I've seen of him either, so. Moving on, I'm gonna take this a little slow here, because I got unlucky yesterday with the next set of bosses here. I'm just trying to keep my spirit, basically. Oh, of course I jumped right into those bullets. There's 2 walkers here. Alright, I'm trying to get rid of these guys to save on the lag, and alright, now we can just start pushing these walkers over to this edge over here. But also trying to reflect as many Gatling shots at them as possible. Alright, push you off the edge. So walkers are actually really dangerous because they do neutral damage. And their feet, and I think also their heads can damage you depending on what animation they're in. Oh, you're not dead yet. Okay, one more. But their feet especially, if you get caught between those 2 walkers, your HP and your spirit are just gonna tank downwards. As I said before, you do not want to lose the level 6 weapon. So, that went smoothly this time. Something in the US version that is a change to make it harder in some points, but also easier in others, is when you attack enemies with the same attribute, you drain their spirit and absorb it into yourself. So at some points that's really helpful because you don't need to rely on drops, but the other problem is in the US version, when you fire your weapon, your spirit drains. And when you're at bosses that you can't drain spirit from, like every single final boss except for 2 of them actually. But one of them, you can't drain too much from it, and like, anyway, it just makes it harder overall because, especially if you're not using Sirosa or Sloth here, this is a good start for Gaugelin here. If you're not using this weapon, your spirit is going to drain extremely quickly. So this is Gaugelin. He's a trash compactor dragon. He's so cute. What we need to do is we need to feed him 10 enemies that are the opposite color of his wings. He will switch colors every so often. I'm going to call this at 3. So the pattern to do it is some combination of 2 3s and a 4 is the best way to do it. Nope, nope, nope. You're not taking that. In fact, you're not taking any of these guys. Just squish. Okay. So I'm keeping track of what he's doing in the background there. As you can see, she starts trash compacting at 3 enemies. And what I want him to do to make this go as fast as possible is to grab 2 enemies at the same time, or roughly the same time. So right there, he grabbed them basically 1 second apart, so that his swallow animation is even between the 2 heads. So that actually wasn't very even because the other arm took a very long route around it. It's still spinning back there. Come on, Gaugelin, be nice. Now you're uneven. I will take this at 3 again and just do 4 on the last one. Because he is taking forever to eat. Come on. Wow, yeah, he took forever on that left hand one there. So final phase, I'm gonna need to do 4 enemies. That's fine. Each enemy does 30 damage. I can math. 120 divided by 4 is for 30. It's not 0, but it will be 0. This game has a lot of math in it. Alright, come on. His AI will go towards enemies of the same type that he is. That's why I'm destroying the other enemies. His attacks include like those scatter bombs, the jumpy thingy. This is the jumpy thingy there. What that does is it makes you unable to do your double jump as high. No, you get rid of that. So, no, get rid of that. It's like having a dog. I'm getting really bad enemy spawns too. It's like having a dog and your dog eats something that it shouldn't eat, and you're like, spit it out, and the dog doesn't spit it out. In fact, it eats it faster. That's Goblin. Please grab one more enemy. Please? Please? He's squishing. This is the first time I'm getting a 4-cycle Goblin. This is horrible. Because my enemy spawn was so bad that he didn't have time to grab another enemy, so we just need to wait until he grabs 3 more enemies to do 1 enemy's worth of damage. Thanks, buddy. This is a never happened before. This has not happened probably since I played the game casually and didn't know what I was doing. That's what you want him to do, is to take 2 enemies at the same time. And then hope that the enemy spawns are, like, good. Like this, like right now. This is perfect. Why couldn't this have happened? I'm actually gonna get rid of that. Oh, he's spending it, so that's fine. And I'm... jump canceled? Okay. And he is gonna be dead in like 2 seconds here. There we go. Alright. I hope that never happens again. Moving on, we need to fight Zohar again. This is the 3rd time we fought them. This time, we can actually defeat them completely, and this time there's a 2-minute timer. This is the beginning of the path split. No, come here. Come here. Alright. Down in the corner. That's a good time. Anything under 30 seconds past on the timer is a good time for that. So this is the path split. We defeat Zohar here because it's faster than waiting for 2 minutes. And also the boss that you fight, if you don't defeat Zohar, has an attack that gives them iframes, which makes the fight longer even though it's an easier boss. So even though this boss coming up here, Sefer Zohar, is harder, doesn't take as long. So Sefer Zohar here, again, 2 sides, has a lot of like damage ones you can do. So you can, the main body, the 2 guns on the side here, and also the pants on the bottom. And we're just going to stand here and shoot at them until they're down. They have a lot of attacks. We're just going to try to dodge, and they are not changing sides yet. Okay, good. Just hold still like that. That's good. They do have iframes when changing sides. That's fine. Alright, the sword side is easier to dodge because they just swipe at you and you just kind of hang out in the middle of them. And time your jumps so that you never get hit. The pants fly off at the half health point and will start flying around the screen, and will also fire giant lasers at you from the back of the screen. But this is the reason why turbo is marked on the leaderboard as like yes turbo, no turbo, because this boss takes a lot less time if you have turbo on. It takes about 4 cycles if you do well without it, and it only takes 2 cycles if you have it on. But like I said, we like saving hands. Don't need to master all the text. Alright, skip the final shop there. And we are on to the final boss and the final choice of the game, which also determines if you're getting good ending or bad ending. And speedrun goes for bad ending because the boss doesn't take as long. So we choose to leave the world as it is. The other choice is to restore the world. Because the plot of this game, from what I remember, is this giant apocalypse happened, split all the people into the different attributes, and they're at war with each other. And it is our duty to restore the world to the way it was. So here we're fighting Megiddo again. And let's hope he's nice. Okay, he's doing that attack, which is good. Obviously, we don't want him to... That was the Rose attack, that's why I went silent there for 1 second. Also, we don't want him jumping off the screen at all, because he's kind of untargetable. And I didn't see how much spirit I have. I think I'm pretty high. But, second half of Megiddo fight, we're going to be doing an attack that we haven't seen before, called Parasite Bomb. So, hop. Oh, I'm at max, it's good, as long as I don't get hit. Okay, time will be coming soon, hopefully. Nope. Alright, come on, please defeat me. I need to take an HP death here, please. Alright, thank you. And we're just gonna do that Parasite Bomb if we can. Please attack, thank you. And time. So, Berserk Megiddo has a reflector up when he's not attacking. When you're doing Parasite Bomb, you are invulnerable to attacks. That's just the fastest way for him, because if you time it correctly and he's nice, you will defeat him in 2 Parasite Bombs just right away like that. And, yeah, that's Silhouette Mirage, and this is going to be the bad ending that'll play out here. A little cutscene, even though the music is nice and happy, and everyone's happy. It's the bad ending, because we didn't save the world. That's okay. So, thank you all for watching. Actually don't know what the time, what was the final time on that?
45 minutes and 30 seconds.
That's... For how bad the robot fight was and the Galgalin fight being awful, that's a pretty good time.
Yeah.
My PB is like a 41 something. I don't remember. I don't remember looking it up. So yeah, if anyone's interested in this game, it's really good. It's really easy to play it on your Saturn. Japanese games aren't that hard to play on English systems. The speedrun community is 3 people, and there's no Discord, there's no community gathering or anything. There's an SRC board, which I will have a guide up for this game on soon. I am in the process of writing it right now, in case you're interested in picking up this game. Even casually, the speedrun guide helps. I've had a lot of people say, hey, I was never able to beat this game until I saw the speedrun. So, thank you all for watching and supporting this wonderful marathon.
Thank you so much for an amazing run. During that run, we actually had 2 donations that heavily impacted our 2 character bid words. The first one was from Brown Bear. He donated $76.01. He said, I don't know who voted for Zelda, but this 1 penny will turntable. And that 1 penny put Link right in front of Zelda. So if anyone wants Ice Blue to play Zelda in a few hours, make sure you contribute and donate there so she can win, or Link, whichever one. And then PokeGod11 donated $15 toward the Black Eagles house, making it almost even with everyone else. It's so close. Thank you so much for everyone's donations. Up next, we have Drakodun playing Sparkster. I'll see you after a short break. Thank you so much.